Is she the biggest draw in women's tennis right now?
Yes.
Is she bigger than Sabalenka? Is she bigger than Coco?
Dude, it's crazy. She's having the same effect that Fonseca was having, like, on the men's side last year in Miami.
It's like Fonseca, but I think it's bigger than Fonseca.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Like, the Doha, like, crowds were insane for her last week.
If she wins a slam, it would be like one of the biggest things in the world.
Yeah, correct.
She's definitely one to watch, obviously because she's so good, but just for the atmosphere. You want to tune into her matches just to see what it's like on the court.
There's got to be like a little jealousy maybe from some of the women. The girls coming in, she's not top 10, biggest star in the world.
The desert wasn't supposed to shake in March. Indian Wells is usually polished, predictable, and almost serene. This tranquility conveys a sense of prestige rather than chaos. Then Alexandra arrived. Suddenly, the Coachella Valley isn't just hosting a tournament. It's hosting a movement. Ticket prices are climbing into territory usually reserved for Grand Slam semifinals. This isn't championship weekend. It's only the opening act yet. The energy already feels like the main event has begun.
Double-sided sword, I think, on one end it does cushion the blow because you know that they're there for you and they support. On the other hand, it hurts a little more and it's a little harder to accept because you want to do the best for them. But yeah, I think I gave it my all today and there were no regrets, so I'm happy about that. Yeah.
At the center of the storm stands 20-year-old Filipina left-hander Alexandra Eala, who has already turned the 2026 BNP Paribas Open into tennis's hottest spectacle before, even striking a ball in the main draw.
Eala is really good for tennis. I'm not just talking about entertainment, I'm talking about the fact that she can bring a crowd. Alex had a really epic comeback against Sasnovich, and honestly, I think the crowd were pivotal to her success today. I do have to give so much credit to Sasnovich for the way that she carried herself during the match, because I can imagine having pretty much the whole stadium cheering for your opponent be really heavy and really intense, but she was still smiling towards the end of it, so full kudos.
This isn't routine hype or a feel-good underdog story trending online. What's unfolding in the California desert at the BNP Paribas Open is something far more powerful. Fueled by the rise of Alexandra Aya, belief has crossed continents and landed in one of tennis's most prestigious arenas, catching the sports establishment completely off guard.
I had a sneak look about 5 hours ago, and I don't think it could have worked out any better for Alex Eala. The reason that draw couldn't have been any better is because both of those players are playing at a venue where it doesn't suit their game. Either one of them would prefer conditions that were a lot faster, and really, you'd want them both in better form. So Alex is going to play someone who's not in great form. Yastremska has only had 2 wins.
Inside the Indian Wells Tennis Garden, organizers are quietly scrambling. Assigning Alexandra Ayala to an outer court suddenly feels impossible. Smaller stadiums that once hosted early matches now look inadequate, like staging a world tour in a high school gym. The demand simply doesn't fit the space.
You want. But tennis, the WTA has a superstar in Alexandra Eala. As much as I've been saying for the last 2 years, tennis needs a superstar, yes. They have stars. They have Coco Gauff. They have Iga Swiatek. They have Sabalenka. However, when it comes to selling out those first, second, third round matches, the Philippine fans, they show up, they show out. And they've been doing this since at least the U.S. Open when I first noticed it, when she had that amazing match versus Clara Tauson. Now, Clara Tauson just beat McCartney Kessler, and I would love to see Eala versus Tauson.
The BNP Paribas Open has long been called the 5th Grand Slam, but this year, it almost feels temporarily rebranded by fan energy alone. If proof is needed that the excitement around Alexandra Ayala isn't just online noise, listen to the reaction from inside the sport. On the popular tennis podcast, Nothing Major, former ADP standouts Sam Querrey, John Eisner, and Steve Johnson spent serious time debating a question marketing executives may already be whispering about. Is Eala the biggest draw in women's tennis right now? That isn't a casual compliment. These are players who have stepped onto center court at Wimbledon championships and faced the sport's giants under suffocating pressure. They know exactly what big feels like, and even they sounded stunned by the scale of what's unfolding. Because this isn't gradual momentum, its ignition. The frenzy didn't start in California. It has been building across the tour. At the Australian Open, practice courts overflowed with spectators. In Dubai during the Dubai Tennis Championships, fans crowded every available corner, creating an atmosphere closer to Davis Cup intensity than a routine tour stop. Now she arrives in Southern California, home to one of the world's largest Filipino-American communities, a factor that could amplify the moment even further. Yet, the surge isn't powered by sentiment alone. It's rooted in results. Eala enters Indian Wells fresh off a thunderous run in Dubai, charging into the quarterfinals of a WTA 1000 event while dismantling elite opponents along the way. That breakout propelled her to a career-high world number 31, a ranking that carries real weight in the unforgiving mathematics of the tour.
Not in on that, but I completely disagree with your first assessment. I do not think Eala gets through Iga. I think we saw a little bit of a hiccup here against Svitolina. Svitolina, a very tough opponent, but Eala, again, like Paul was saying, just too much experience on the Iga Swiatek side. I do think it will be a close two-setter. I think it'll be maybe a 5-2, 5-3 situation because the teenage firepower, she's bringing some heat out there.
All right, looking for it. You got my attention. You got everyone's attention.
Now I know how I get to.
Reaching world number 31 means more than a number for Alexandra Eala at the BNP Paribas Open. It means she's seeded. It means a first-round bye. Most importantly, it means time. Time to recover, to analyze the draw, and to sit with her coaches from the Rafa Nadal Academy studying matchups with precision. The Academy's imprint is clear in her game. Heavy topspin, disciplined patterns, and patience fused with aggression. There's structure behind the excitement. For the first time in her professional career, Eala isn't chasing the door. She's already inside the room. The commercial world has noticed as well. Before arriving in the desert, she stopped at Nike headquarters in Beaverton. It wasn't a routine sponsor visit. Career highlights were displayed across campus, and installations inspired by the Sampaguita celebrated her heritage. Companies don't stage tributes out of courtesy. They do it when numbers demand attention. Merchandise spikes, engagement surges, and markets across Southeast Asia and North America suddenly look wider. All of that creates a scheduling puzzle inside the Indian Wells tennis garden. Traditionally, a newly seeded player might start on an outside court, but not this time. Placing Eala on a small court would create chaos. Her matches demand Stadium 1 or Stadium 2, not because of past trophies, but because of present gravity. And imagine drawing her in the second round. You've trained your entire life for this moment. You walk through the tunnel expecting a neutral crowd. Instead, it feels like an away match. Cheers erupt after every winner, and suddenly the atmosphere shifts.
Is so good for tennis because she can clearly play really well and brings the drama and brings the fun, but also she's bringing the crowds as well. The stadium today was absolutely packed. Dare I say that the Filipino crowd for Alex Eala is challenging the likes of João Fonseca's crowds with the Brazilians. After losing the first set 6-2 and then being down 4-love in the third to come back and win it on a tie.
Every unforced error against Alexandra Eala draws a surge of sound that vibrates through your chest. That noise changes matches. It tightens forehands, rushes second serves, and magnifies every point on the scoreboard. Earlier this season in Dubai, Coco Gauff described the mental gymnastics required to play in a pro exhibition crowd. If a Grand Slam champion must reframe reality to survive the energy, imagine the effect on players still building resilience. Now scale that intensity up inside the bowl of the Indian Wells Tennis Garden main stadium, where sound ricochets off concrete and steel, multiplying under the desert sun. This isn't background noise, it's pressure.
And here's the twist.
Eala thrives in it. No theatrics, just execution. Indian Wells amplifies her strengths. The courts at the BNP Paribas Open are gritty hard courts that grip the ball, producing a highly explosive bounce. Combined with the dry desert air of the Coachella Valley, the ball travels quickly through the air but kicks up sharply off the court. It rewards heavy topspin, physical patience, and players who construct points instead of rushing them. Sound familiar?
What do you think of Eala's challenge?
Like she won the first set and she...
Well, I think she's kind of like she has nothing to lose and she go out there and she just play with the courage and then like going for like crazy shots, I think, and I think that's also like kind of like putting some pressure on Iga when she see like someone is not like really afraid of her and putting pressure back on her. So I think it's all about this, and it's interesting to see like if the player like got to like top level, and it's interesting to see like if they can stay there and maintain the level. So I think
here's the uncomfortable truth nobody says out loud. Women's tennis doesn't just need great players. It needs gravitational forces. Aryna Sabalenka is phenomenal. Power, presence, trophies, intimidation. She checks every technical box. But dominance doesn't always equal magnetism. Winning titles doesn't guarantee packed stadiums or emotionally invested fans. Here's the difference. Sabalenka arrives with her ranking. Alexandra Aya arrives with a nation. And not just a nation, but a global diaspora that shows up loudly, visibly, and unapologetically. Flags wave. Chants erupt between points. Social feeds explode. When Eala steps onto the court, she isn't alone. She carries a collective identity with her. That presence changes everything. The sport has long sought a bridge, someone who expands markets as much as wins points. Eala is building that bridge in real time. Right now, one player competes for trophies, while Alexandra Eala competes for trophies and brings an entire generation of new viewers with her. In a sport vying for global attention, that might be the most valuable skill of all. This isn't a flash, it's a shift. The rankings say world number 31. The ticket market says main event. Sponsors see long-term investment. The crowds say this is ours. When Eala finally steps onto court at the 2026 BNP Paribas Open, the applause won't drift across the valley. It will crash, surge, and feel less like a match, and more like the unveiling of a new era. Even skeptics will quietly acknowledge it.
And everyone's looking forward to a possible final between you and Iga, like the final you had last year. Of course, it's still far away. What did you get to see a match yesterday? What do you think of it? And also the challenge put up by Alex Eala.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was a great match, and honestly, I think like Iga didn't really start well. She was missing a lot, but then she kind of like found her rhythm and she started playing much better, and she put a lot of pressure on Eala and got the win. Yeah, it was a great match from Iga, kind of like nice comeback after like really tough start.
Yeah.
The desert wasn't ready for this, but Alexandra Eala was. Once the noise settles into a steady roar and the first ball is struck, all the marketing, ticket hysteria, and cultural symbolism fade. What remains is the baseline, the serve, the return, the unforgiving geometry of a hard court baked into the desert sun. That is where her story becomes dangerous. Indian Wells has a reputation. Slow, gritty surfaces that reward patience and punish hesitation. Heavy topspin becomes suffocating, forcing opponents backward, shrinking angles and stealing time. Every rally turns into a negotiation, and slowly, point by point, she dictates the terms. The physical patterns tell only half the story. Psychologically, this isn't the Alexandra Eala grinding through lower-tier events 2 seasons ago. This is a player who has reached the latter stages of a WTA 1000 and who has faced elite names and emerged victorious. That experience matters. Confidence at this level is subtle. It shows in breakpoint shot selection, in stepping inside the baseline at 30 all, and in body language after a double fault. No panic, no rush, just reset. She is prepared for the desert inside and out.
Events. They're both woefully out of form. Eala is going in the big favourite.
Well, also, she'll be exhausted from playing last week, but Eala took a break last week. She took a break after the Middle East, and so that she's preparing herself for the big event, Indian Wells.
And she takes to the court on Friday. Alex will have had over 2 weeks off since she lost to Coco Gauff in Dubai. So she'll be ready to go, refreshed. And I'm very confident.
And that composure only intensifies in a stadium leaning heavily in her favor. Imagine being her opponent. You survive a grueling 8-minute rally, finally force an error, and instead of relief, you hear 15,000 spectators ripple with disappointment. You hold serve after deuce, and the reaction feels muted, almost reluctant. Then I thread a backhand down the line, and the stadium erupts. It's not hostility, it's gravity. Momentum behaves differently in that environment. A single break of serve can feel like a landslide. A three-point run can feel decisive. Even seasoned pros struggle not to rush to force a spectacular shot just to quiet the roar. Then there's the serve. Often overlooked and not the fastest on tour, but strategically precise. A wide slice out left on the ad side drags right-handers off the court. A body serves jams rhythm at tense moments. On these courts, even a slightly sinking serve becomes a weapon when followed by her heavy first forehand. At Indian Wells, that combination, the serve setting up the forehand, is lethal, turning tactical precision into an almost unbreakable advantage.
Has that kind of pitbull, like Sibulkova was a little bit like that to me as well.
Obviously, one of the storylines last week was Alex Eala and the massive crowds that she was bringing to Dubai. I think it was perhaps maybe more notable there because that's not a tournament that is typically packed. The Filipino fans had come to watch their player. And I'm wondering if you can tell us, in terms of her actual tennis, what is it that she does so well?
Well, there's a lot of things that she does really well. And I think there's a lot of things that make her opponents feel very uncomfortable. One of the things that she can't control is that she's a left.
Here's where the narrative deepens. Indian Wells has long been a measuring stick. Success here signals legitimacy. Breakthroughs in the desert change perceptions. Draw sheets are studied differently. Coaches circle names in red ink. And locker rooms recalibrate. For Alexandra Eala, this isn't just another stop on the tour. A deep run would validate her ranking and reset expectations across the WTA. The question shifts from whether she belongs in the top 30 to how soon she cracks the top 20 or even higher. The commercial ripple runs in parallel. Brands are watching. Networks are watching. The WTA knows the value of unlocking Southeast Asia's market potential. Representation fuels engagement. Engagement drives revenue, and revenue reshapes scheduling, broadcast slots, and promotions. Yet, the irony remains. None of that guarantees a single hold of serve. Tennis is brutally honest. Down to a breakpoint at 44 in the third set. Hype and headlines mean nothing. Only precision, patience, and composure matter.
My coach told me to run, to go for every ball, take all the opportunities I can because 5-time Grand Slam champion is not gonna give you the win.
Very emotional for you, very emotional for your camp today. Will you remember this day for the rest of your life? It is the biggest day of your career here at the Miami Open.
It's forever in my heart.
And you're forever in our heart.
The real test won't come in the opening roar, but in the quiet pockets of a match. The changeovers when the noise dims and self-doubt whispers. The stretches when an opponent storms through 3 games and the scoreboard tightens. That's when we'll see the full measure of this new Alexandria. Movements are powerful and cultural waves are transformative, but sustained excellence demands something colder and steadier. The frenzy in the Coachella Valley may have begun with crashing ticket servers and soaring resale prices, but it will be defined by something else, by what happens inside the lines. If she navigates this first test with the poise she showed in Dubai, the desert will remember more than a sellout. It will mark the moment the sport quietly acknowledged a shift. The atmosphere is ready, the stage is set, and the draw has opened a door. Now it's about whether I walk through it or kick it down entirely.